Getting close, not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
We stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please, Susan.
Commissioner Clausen.
Here.
Commissioner Cox.
Here.
Commissioner Graven. Here. Commissioner Phipps.
Here.
Mayor Hall.
Here. Consent agenda. Items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will occur unless a council member requests the item to be removed from the consent agenda. If an item is removed from the consent agenda, it will be considered elsewhere on the agenda for this meeting. Prior to asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda, the mayor will ask if anyone desires to remove an item from the consent agenda for public discussion. Would anybody like to remove any item from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of August the 20th, 2024, and bills and payroll for the last half of August 2024. May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Presentations, petitions, and communications. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for persons who desire to address the council. The Illinois Open Meetings Act mandates that the city council may not take action on comments received on matters that have not been identified on this agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the council are requested to limit their presentations to 3 minutes and to avoid repetitious comments. We would also ask you state your name and address for the record, as well as stand when speaking. Would anybody like to address the council tonight?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, please come up here.
My name is Wanda Ryan, and I live at 6160 Depot Avenue, Gary, Michigan.
Okay.
And my neighbor west of me has planted bamboo, and it's growing. I'd like to have something done to it.
Okay. What direction, do you know the address of your neighbor?
You know,
It's just directly west of you, though?
next house west of me.
Okay. Should be 620.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to look into that. I don't know.
Got it.
Tried Roundup will not, basically.
So it's taken over your yard too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Okay.
planted it last year. Next to his privacy fence is 6 foot tall, and it's way above the privacy fence.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll definitely look into it and see what we can do.
thank you.
yeah. Can we get it? Do we need a contact number or anything?
Yeah.
Ma'am?
We'll reach out to her.
Go by our house.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else like to address the council tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, next is new business then.
Thank you, Mayor. Make a motion to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1922, approving a memorandum of understanding, MOU, providing a temporary variance regarding the promotional testing promotional list, and authorizing the mayor to sign the MOU.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Phipps, and any comments or questions anybody like to make?
Like I said, we've had some discussions on this. Again, a lot of it is what the state statute said, what our practices and contracts said were different. We also are needing to get a couple promotional tests listed, and our version had a year waiting list of letting them have documents a year before they take the test. The new state statute has changed to 90 days. We're even, They pretty much need that.
The biggest thing are the proctors for each stage of the exam. With this MOU, the unions agreed to allow me to administer the test instead of having IO Solutions do it. And that's gonna save about $800.
Right.
So then there's other proctors for the interview process, every step that is being eliminated.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Raven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Mr. Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2024-3280, authorizing the approval and execution of a solar power purchase agreement between the City of Mattoon and Renewable Energy Evolution to be located at the wastewater treatment plant, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement and other relevant documents.
Can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and any comments or any questions anybody has on this one?
Just that Derek Bartlett's here. If anybody has any questions, it's basically the same thing that he'd presented before a couple months ago, I think it was. It's part of the sewer plant that we don't use. It's some of it's down in the floodplain, so they'll be raised higher. But no, it's a good project. There's not a real big expense not really expense. That's for 6 years.
Now, isn't this subject to getting some support or aid or matching?
It's going out on tax buying, tax credit purchases. They do have a guy that's willing to do that. That's why we're bringing it forward now.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments?
Mayor spoke with Doug Holman again today, and he is behind this project, and the savings with the kilowatt of 3 cents per hour, guaranteed 6 years, correct, Eric? Is going to be a significant savings in electrical costs for the wastewater treatment plant.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Raven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2535, approving change order number 1 in the amount of $26,688 to Curry Construction for the primary pump replacement project at the wastewater treatment plant, and authorizing the Public Works Director to sign the order.
Can I have a second? Second. Mr. Cox? Comments?
This one, the change order is after Curry Construction went out there and did all the final measurements and everything. The way it was designed is a couple inches too tall, so they had to go back and do some changes to the project to make everything fit in the actual dimensions that we have. So, what the products they could get versus what was engineered is a little different, so they had to make an adjustment. So,
Good. Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Raven?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2536, approving the employment of Jackson Boyce as engineering technician with an annual salary of $56,160 and an effective date of September 16th, 2024.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Clausen, and any comments or questions?
I would just say this is, we're down a couple techs right now with retirement at the end of things earlier this year. And then the one tech that we hired entry level last year, she left, took another job this spring and so forth. So we've got a lot going on, and it's been tough to keep up with it. So this will be an entry level type person. It is, I think, we can say a higher rate than what initially was advertised, but that's what the going rates are today. And I know as an employer was meeting that rate and was willing to go higher, but it was the benefit package that kind of took them over the edge.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Raven?
Yes.
Mr. Phipps?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. Next is department reports, starting with City Administrator Kyle Gill.
really not a whole lot of new stuff going on, business as usual, reviewing a couple, a lease agreement with, what is that, Bluebird Network. We've talked a little bit about it, but I'm getting ready to send it to Dan for review and to the council. Yeah, it's just a piece of property out by our east water tower and cellular tower lease. they want to lease a little bit to put one of the fiber optic shelters and then connect to fiber optics in the area of Richmond and Division. So, and First Street. So working on that, working on a couple other projects similar to that. Nuisance, you know, we get complaints, and Alex and I were looking at the demolition costs today, what we have, and helping him see if we can't get a couple more down this year. So, other than that, just like I said, pretty much business as usual.
Okay. Any questions for Kyle? Next is City Attorney Dan Jones.
Not much from me this week. It's business as usual. I'm still waiting for a ruling from Judge Bovard on the Quackenbush property. I'll report to the council when I get it. And that's pretty much it for me this time.
When is the Perry issue coming out?
We don't have a hearing date yet.
What was that question? Here,
When is the Perry issue coming up?
I can try and push that a little bit.
It's been like, what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Hasn't really.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, 2019, December 2019.
any other questions? City Clerk Susan O'Brien.
Just getting ready for insurance renewals, processing various reports, and otherwise business as usual.
Okay. Any other questions for Susan? Finance, Beth Wright.
One of the revenue tracking reports, right that are there, last meeting. And then this morning, I was able to find that it will be received later this month, so. Information is available. You can see the bottom right-hand corner, we're behind 23,000 compared to a year ago. So I would say things are relatively flat. So I'm going to meet the sources of revenue. And then the unrestricted cash in the general fund, it's $10.69 million. Last week was 11.15. And the week before was 10.47. So it sort of falls between two lines and bounces back and forth. And then I'm answering other questions. We get that wrapped up soon. Somebody could.
Okay. Any questions for Beth? Next is Public Works, Dave Clark.
We're back out on Western Avenue grading, getting ready to grade so we can seed that along the sidewalk project. We're also putting the inlets that were shown on the plans by others. That's going to be starting tomorrow. Broadway, we've been dealing with a water main issue there at 14th and Broadway. I think we've got that finally taken care of, and then they'll be finishing that corner there at 14th and Broadway. And then when they get that done, they'll move to the south side between 15th and 16th and be doing that whole block all at one time. So it should be completed there by the end of the month pretty easily on that project. Sports complex, a lot of things going on out there, paving parking lots, paving sidewalk, hauling rock today on Swords. They will be probably later this week yet, actually pouring some curb out there on that, on Swords Avenue. So just a ton of things going on there right now. Oil and chip contract will start on Thursday. We're trying to get that out. We've been passing out things to the public along those project routes that we're going to oil and chip this year. And we'll get that on the website too, but they'll start there Thursday morning. Hopefully they think they'll get done Thursday, but my guess is it might go to Friday. So, and today they started the 2024 sidewalk project out of Western and on 10th Street. So that's the first two spots they went, and then they'll do Broadway and around the Y later this month.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Any questions for Dave? Next is Fire Chief Jeff Hilkos.
Thank you, Mayor. Since the last meeting, you guys have answered 165 calls for service. Inspectors have done 7 inspections. The guys started their walkthroughs or their buildings downtown, did their EMS training. And then on Saturday, the 24th, we had out at Peterson Relay for Life, our softball game. Jim, thank you for being umpire. And that was a good evening. So That is all I've got to report.
I can't,
It's a dead horse.
okay. I
put that thing in the feed.
I just figured you couldn't give up. You were just going to continue.
That's it.
Okay, well, maybe, we appreciate that. Takes a lot of something to do, not say anything. Okay, so any questions for our fire chief? Next, police, Ryan Hurst.
Well, first of all, they won because I made the play, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. You were busy doing your job or what was going on?
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
That, I don't know if I can run the base.
Okay, so,
2 weeks, 90 calls of service, or I'm sorry, 900 calls of service, 50 arrests. Most of that came these last 3 days, busy regular weekend for us. Grant Gaines graduated 2 Fridays ago from the academy, started on the street last week, doing well so far. Jake here and Katie Price started the academy today, so pray for them. That's a long 15 weeks. New hire testing for us, our old list has been exhausted, so we've got a new hire list. Testing starting at November 16th. That's what we advertise right now. And then Sam and I met with Mr. Yoder at the complex and walked through the indoor facility last week and discussed security, what the expectations are for off-duty officers and what that's going to look like at the beginning of the year. So, go ahead.
okay, any questions? Arts and Tourism, Angelia Burgett.
Thank you. So last council meeting that I missed, Mindy and I went to Shelbyville by invitation to meet with 8 other communities to talk about cross-promoting their lights. And so we did it's a lot of volunteers in a lot of communities. Everybody's doing something slightly different. But we're going to be doing postcards and some electronic cross promotions to get people to do the Twinkle Lights tour. So they're going to all the spaces. They're not just coming to 1 or 2. So kind of excited about that, what that can look like. It's going to be pretty low cost for us. Discover Downstate Illinois, I've been talking about them for a while as a marketing partner. They're starting to produce things around Mattoon. Right now they've got the Coffee Trail, which features milk and honey as an active promotion. Also, Burger King, they got a promotional video out for them. They did some things for us for Bagel Fest, and we met with them to talk about a visitor's guide. And this is, they operate as a CVB, but they really operate as a marketing agency in lots of ways. So they're going to do the lion's share of the work for us. We talked about the photography show in October and a holiday artisan sale in November. And lastly, I want to share that our fiscal numbers came in from 2023, and we are 20%, 23 over 22 in terms of economic impact, which includes lodging, food and beverage, recreation, retail, and transportation.
Good news. Any questions for Angelia? Anybody? Community development, Alex Rernschik.
So 10 demolitions this fiscal year, probably a few more coming down the pipeline, but definitely moving along there. You might hear some talk about a solar farm special use extension coming up for a project on North 33rd, I believe. That just hit the paper today. Working with Coles together on a substation infrastructure expansion project, looking at about $3 million to $2 million or so. Working with Celebrate Downtown, they're moving ahead full speed. Planning on a special kind of lighted drone show if we're able to get that funded this year. So pretty exciting. It's already 50% funded. Also working on a couple of projects downtown with unused space to try to make some more unique quality life improvements with community partners. Working on a land bank, specifically addressing almost like a vacant lot of properties on 33rd. Both of our housing studies should be done within the next month. So that's pretty exciting. And then last 2 things are we approved a use of street application for an exciting new community market event at Milk and Honey. That's going to be September 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. So it should be a pretty neat event. They're going to close down that whole street there and just have like vendors, booths, stuff like that. And then just heard today that the Clarion is finally going to be opening this Friday. So that whatever was going on with the elevator there got fixed. And yeah, beyond that, also just beginning to review the updated building. That's about it.
A lot of things. Any questions for Alex? All right, last is comments by the council, and we'll start with Commissioner Graven.
I have nothing, Mayor.
Nothing. Okay. Then we go to Commissioner Clausen.
Thank you, Mayor. 4 weeks from today, the parks will start preparing for the Festival of Christmas Lights. It's how quick time gets here. So hopefully we get the third employee that you're working on, that person all set. But it's kind of a slow time where they can start getting equipment in place, and been a very hectic, busy summer for them. And just want to remind everybody, a week from tomorrow, 5:30, will be the pickleball court dedication. I'd like to see you all there. And so it's going to be 5:30 on Wednesday, September 11th. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Next is Commissioner Phipps.
Good job, everybody. I just have one thing. Congrats to Mr. Clark, 77 grad from University of Illinois, won the alumni, what is it? The Louis Spirit Award. And he's going to get that. He's going to receive that next week at the alumni gala up at U of I. Very, very, very prestigious award for the thing. You have not missed a football game in 46 plus years, 47 years.
Home football game.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell. Or not. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, that's all.
Every day. It's that season. Yep. It's the season.
So you're going to get honored at the end of the first quarter of the homecoming game?
Yes.
Nice. Fine honor.
Pretty cool.
Congratulations. That's great. Okay, any questions for Commissioner Phipps? And then Commissioner Cox?
Nothing this evening. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, and I'm going to pass also. So the next item on the agenda is what we call adjourn. And we need to have, and we need to have a motion. If anybody's willing to step up.
Well, I'll step up, Mayor. I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Commissioner. And roll call. Second.
I'll second
We gotta do a
that. To
second.
make it legit, I'll second it.
Commissioner Phipps, okay?
No.
And now we have roll call.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Graven? No. Mr. Phipps?
Yes.
Mr. Clausen?
No.
Mayor Hall?
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
This is too much pressure. Yes.
Thank you.
Got to challenge them once in a while.
Meeting adjourned.
Thanks for attending.